beautiful souls, and welcome to my channel, Indigo Moon Academy. My name is Joanna Miller and I chat all about manifestation work, spiritual growth, spiritual awakening and your soul purpose. And today I'm going to chat about your soul purpose and how to connect to your divine calling. And this is my dog Lily, who's joining us today, and I'm sure my other dog Gypsy will come over as soon as she hears me talking. She decides to interrupt, but I may have to edit her out because her energy is a little bit chaotic. So today I wanted to chat about how you can connect to your soul purpose and your soul gifts. And this is something I have felt so passionate about all my life. Ever since I was little, I always felt I was here for a reason. I always felt that this world was so chaotic and harsh and angry and crazy that it activated a part of my soul that wanted to bring more gentleness and healing. And when I connect to other light workers and empaths and creatives, they feel the same way. They're very gentle, they're very loving, but they do feel stifled, they do feel unheard, and they feel like their soul gifts and soul purpose isn't coming through because they're feeling blocked. So in this blog, I wanted to chat about how we can really connect to our soul gifts and heal ourselves on a deep level so that we can start living our light. And it's so important that we connect to our soul purpose because that's our reason for being. It's our divine calling. It's something that we have felt innately within us from maybe as like myself since you were born, or you may have felt that you're questioning the path that you're on and you're feeling stuck and want more clarity. So this vlog is for you if you want more clarity. So today I want to cover some topics on how we can connect to our soul. And one of the ways is to create a deeper sense of self-awareness. So to question our triggers, our blocks, our emotional responses to things, to understand why we act or feel a certain way. And that can sometimes take you deeper within yourself to understand maybe some trauma or some blocks since you were younger that are still present today in your adulthood. And that can mean going through journaling, writing down things as you feel them, and trying to question from a higher perspective so that you take a step back from the emotionally charged situation that you're feeling yourself in and question why you feel that way and delve deeper into what it is your soul is telling you. Often when we're feeling blocked, it can mean that we're not listening to our intuition, and I'll touch on that later on, but understanding who we are on a deeper level. And there's some great ways we can build more self-awareness, and there's some great spiritual tools that you can use. One of them is astrology. Now, astrology isn't for everybody, so if it doesn't resonate with you, please just ignore. But for me personally, on my journey, I found astrology has helped me so much to understand who I am on a deeper level. It helps me understand my blocks, and it helps me understand my belief systems and why maybe I act or feel a certain way. So astrology is where we pinpoint how the planets were when we were born. And there's some great websites that give you a full astrology chart. One of them is that I use a lot is Kathy Astrology, and I'll link below. And that gives you a full oversight of your astrological chart, how each sign influences you. And one of the main ones that you want to look into is your sun sign, obviously, which covers your personality, but only on the surface scale. But your moon sign, which covers your emotions, it covers who you are on a deeper level, as well as your Saturn, which is where we have maybe gone through a massive period of transformation, and your North Node, which tells you your soul gifts, who you are and why you are here. So astrology covers so many great things, and it's really great to build that self-awareness and just notice where those aspects of ourselves come up in our daily lives and how we can sometimes block or self-sabotage ourselves depending on our personality or our emotions. Another way, which I'm just learning about, is human design. And this is something apparently it's been around for a while, so I'm late to the party about understanding and learning about human design. And I literally got a book the other day and I read it from front cover to back cover within 2 days because I was absolutely enthralled by it. I thought it covers so many things because it covers astrology as well as your chi channels. It covers your energy. It covers so much, and I fell in love with it. So I'm still learning about it. But human design also is about pinpointing when you were born and everything, the same as what we would do to get our astrology chart. But it covers your energy centers, where your blocks are, where your limiting beliefs can be, and how we can overcome them. So learning about our human design is another great one. And I wish I could delve deeper into this topic, but I'm just very new to it, so I don't want to give you the wrong information. But you can even just look up your own human design for free on some great websites. And again, I'll link them below if you want to learn more. Another one is learning to trust your intuition. And this can be such a difficult one because some people think that our intuition is our psychic self. It's like only psychics have intuitive abilities. Only psychics can kind of, tap into that aspect. But that's not true because I never saw myself as being intuitive or psychic. I started doing readings for myself and then friends and family, and then they were amazed at the accuracy of them. But I taught myself how to be more intuitive. So it's not something that isn't available to everybody, because it is. It's just about learning the steps on how you become more intuitive. And one of them is learning to meditate more, because that can be such a powerful way to connect to yourself and allow your emotions to settle and allow your subconscious mind to come up, so that you start trusting where your inner guidance is taking you. So our intuition always comes through as a gentle guiding voice. It's not something that is harsh, angry, or fearful. That is more of our ego selves. Our intuition is loving, kind, but can push you outside your comfort zone or tell you something that you want to do, you've always wanted to do, but you're too afraid to do it. So that's kind of intuitive voice that can come through. And some ways other than meditation to start trusting your intuition is listening to hypnosis, where we start connecting to our subconscious mind. Again, there's some resources on YouTube for hypnosis guided visualizations for activating our intuition. And there's also some great resources on other websites for people professional hypnotherapists, if you want to delve deeper into that. Another way is journaling, again, because journaling allows us to tap into that higher aspect of ourselves. So we write down a question in our journal, and then we take a moment to meditate on the question, and we allow whatever needs to come up without control or without feeling like we're not allowed to trust that. Just allow it to come up and write it down, and then intuitively see within your heart how that feels to you, how that is resonating with you. And another way is just trusting, just being open to trust yourself more, have more confidence in yourself, build confidence, allow yourself to try new things, and then see where that takes you, and trust where your kind of inner compass is. And it can come through in a number of ways. So maybe your intuition comes through your heart, and you feel an expansion in your heart when you think of doing something that resonates with you. Or maybe it comes through within your solar plexus, where you feel, butterflies, or you feel a sinking feeling if something's not right. Your intuition comes through with your body, and it's your body that you need to tune into and trust. So sometimes it means moving out of our minds and into our bodies, and that can mean moving our bodies, such as doing yoga or qigong or pilates, something that focuses on your breath, gets you grounded into your body, and allows you to come out of your mind for a bit, and allows your subconscious to come through. Another way is to let your creative expression run free. So let your creativity run free. What is it that you'd love to do more often? Did you used to love doing as a child? Maybe you loved going on adventures. Maybe you loved drawing, you loved painting, you loved going out into the world and exploring, or maybe you loved being in nature. Just to tune into what your inner child loved and do more of that, because that's what nurtures your soul, that's what awakens you. Our creativity can be so many things. It doesn't have to be, what we were maybe taught in school, which is art and music and things like that. It can be anything that lights you up, and starting to do more of that will allow your soul to start opening up and allowing that light to come through. And there's so many ways to really tap into your creativity. One of them is like what we mentioned before, trusting your intuition and where that guides you. Another one is just allowing more time for yourself, having an hour or 30 minutes a day where you just tune into what you're needing in that moment. What is it that your body is needing? What is it that your spirit is needing to feel nourished? And following that and doing that more often. Another one, as we mentioned a wee bit earlier, is allowing your inner child to guide you, tuning into your inner child. And that's where our creative expression can run free, is when we allow our inner child to talk through to us. And we can tap into our inner child in a number of ways, through meditation, guided visualizations, journaling, and also to be careful with tuning into your inner child. As somebody who's come through healing and traumatic healing, and I've done this with a professional therapist, not on my own, though I tried and it didn't work. But when we connect to our inner child, sometimes it can bring up stuff from the past that either we've forgotten about, we've blocked, or we don't want to open that door. And if that any way comes up for you, please seek professional advice. I'm not a professional therapist in any way, and I would never give advice when it comes to doing trauma work. I just know I've been through it myself, so I can point people in the right direction, but I can't do trauma healing. But if that does come up for you, please seek professional advice and don't try and heal that aspect on your own. But just do gentle inner child work, where you just ask your inner child that day what is that it needs to feel nourished. So often when I tune into my inner child, it wants to connect to animals, because that was my love when I grew up. That was my grounding, protective way of dealing with the world, was just being around animals. I often preferred animals to people, and I felt protected and held whenever I was around animals. And I have 2 dogs and 2 rabbits, and now I think I've just got stick insects. I'd almost forgot about the stick insects, so they're not quite as cuddly as the rabbits. But when I connect to my pets, when I just cuddle my dogs, especially my Kelpie, my greyhound here is like me, very emotional and needs that grounded energy. So her and me we resonate, we love each other, but I can't rely on her for grounding, because if you don't know about greyhounds, they're very emotional. But my Kelpie, who's like a collie, is literally my therapy dog. I go to her for cuddles, for nurturing, and she comes to me for cuddles and nurturing too. So we feed off each other and we balance each other out. And that kind of helps me as well. It helps me connect to my inner child by remembering how I intuitively connected to animals, how I sensed how they felt and how they sensed how I felt. So I loved being around them. Another way is opening and following your heart. So there's this belief that there's this heart-mind coherence, that when we drop into our heart, we start making decisions that are based more on a loving energy. When we're always up into our minds, when we're always thinking about the next thing we need to do, or we're very logical and we're having to make decisions based on only logic, sometimes that leads us to a place of fear and uncertainty. But when we learn to balance the logical mind with the intuitive heart space, we can make our decisions based on not just how we feel intuitively, but what also matters to us logically, because logic is just as important as intuition. You can't have one without the other. We need that yin-yang balance within ourselves, within our own energy bodies. So when we start dropping into our heart and start making decisions based on how expanded we feel within our heart or how constricted we feel. So if something feels right for you, or if it feels like you're on the right track, your heart will feel expanded. But it takes you to drop into your heart space and just breathe into that space. That's such an easy way for me to connect to my heart, is simply allowing and visualizing my breath to move into my heart chakra and allowing it to activate and open. And when I start making decisions from that space, I start noticing how my energy feels overall. I start feeling more balanced and more grounded because I'm balancing my energies. I'm not always in the anxious, logical mind, because I am quite naturally an anxious person. So I do sometimes need to drop away from my mind and into my heart to get that balance back. So that's another great way to start tuning into your soul purpose. So once you combine all these areas, all these ways we can start working on our soul purpose, we start naturally following our path. We start feeling drawn towards doing certain things. Maybe it's trying a new course, meeting new people, going away and going abroad. You'll have to ignore my dog. And just starting to tune inward. And we just start trusting our path more. Sorry, I had to get my dog back up because as soon as she walks on the floor, it sounds like a massive horse walking around her door. Her feet are that loud. So when we start tuning in and we start working on all those aspects of ourselves, and we start doing more exercises where we're starting to tune into our intuition and our creative side, then things naturally flow in the right direction. We start trusting ourselves more. We start being more confident in our decision making. So I hope you enjoyed this. These are just some simple techniques you can use today to start working on your soul purpose. And I'd love to hear from you if you're on the journey already and how you're doing. And if you'd like to learn more, please let me know. And just to let you know, there's some resources available for you if you'd like to deepen your spiritual journey. I've got a Course for Lightworkers, which is for intuitives, empaths, creatives, starseeds, anybody that's on a spiritual path and would like to deepen their spiritual wisdom and knowledge. This course culminates about 15 years of my own path, my own knowledge into this course, which I'm so excited to share. And it covers everything from awakening your soul gifts to energy work to clearing karmic and ancestral lineages. There's so much in this course. And it's got meditations as well. So it's such a powerful way to really deepen your own spiritual practice. And I've also just launched my manifestation workbook on my new Etsy shop, which also helps you on your manifestation journey and covers everything you need for your manifestation journey, from vision boarding to soul journaling to planners and daily rituals you can use to really manifest your dream life. So please check these out below. I'll pop them for yourself in the resources. And I really hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you for listening.